Hi guys, I am really excited with this next iteration here for your home. I don't think there's really much different to see up front here because we did decide to keep the garage door centered on its wall, which I really appreciate. I have added windows at the top line of the garage. I think it looks really nice. And with this, I will say, with this amount of light coming in through the garage door now, I feel like perhaps I went a bit overkill on the windows over here on the side. So I think I will probably reduce or eliminate some of these windows. Yeah, definitely at least this one. So if we get rid of this one 32-inch window, these all should move over 16 inches to still stay centered, more or less. So we'll have 4 windows there and 4 windows along the top here. I like that. And we still will have, and again, maybe this is overkill. I will say now that we've got windows at the garage door itself, I don't really feel like I need to have a window here. That said, I wouldn't mind more light, more natural light in the garage. You know, you can be that lucky family that has a brightly lit garage, no matter even if the garage door is closed. But if you wanted just to have a solid wall there, that's doable. But for now, I'll keep that window in, unless you ask me to take that out. I'm so excited about this approach. So nothing's really changed here, except for the fireplace is moved up to accommodate the other fireplace down below, which we'll talk more about. But isn't that just a fantastic view? I'm really excited about that. Up front, we're also seeing the skylights. I neglected to add these in during the first iteration, but now I've got them in. Due to the roof geometries and me wanting to illuminate this hallway here with some natural light, I do think it's appropriate to have the skylights on the front-facing roof slope. I would have preferred to have them on the back, but then the geometries were going to be really weird. This skylight's right at the end of the hall, and I can't really fit it in right here, and I don't want to angle over to this flat area here. And then that angle would be different from this skylight being over on this roof slope here. So again, I think it's just going to look cleaner in the hallway, and it'll look right just to have those two skylights here. And I think once we see a tree here, a feature tree right here, I think we'll obscure those skylights. Even at twilight hours where the hallway's lit up and you can see the bright spots on the roof plane. It's something I try to avoid, but I think it's the right spot for that hallway. Coming around on this side of the house, nothing's too different here. I've added a few bushes just to obscure the mechanical area behind your son's bathroom and your bathroom here. I did eliminate the door from the master bedroom to the balcony. It feels like a shame to me. I get that you can get out here through the bathroom, but I just really don't want you to have to only go through the bathroom. I really wish we would have that door here still. But if we opt to get rid of the door, I think doing a window arrangement like this will be really fantastic. And then I've closed off that door here to your office. But again, man, it's such a shame to not be able to get to this balcony other than through the bathroom. But here it is, if this is what you really prefer. It's not too much of a problem. Now for some really exciting changes. So, we're seeing the ADU in the background. We will get to that. But first, let's talk about this pergola request. I think this is fantastic. I think it's really nice to add this to the space for the dining room. And I am showing the reduced size for this fireplace area. just the corner windows meeting the door to the barbecue patio, and then the corner windows meeting at the bifolding door, still centered on the skylights. And I really do think it's nice to have this pergola space out here. And I really do think I like the bifolding doors for you. I know I gave you in the email quite a bit of a rant about the ratio of glass to frame and how relatively narrow these doors are relative to the sliding glass doors. But to be honest with you, all things being equal, this looks fantastic to me still. This is perhaps a bit busier than the alternative, which would be, let's see if I've got it here. I do, good. Here's that sliding glass door. It's maybe a little bit in the wrong position now that I've smushed things in. But a sliding glass door does have narrower, slimmer profiles for the frame, and the panels themselves are wider. And so this is just a lot more glass. But to be honest with you, the other option looks pretty good to me. I'm surprised how much I liked it. And so the sliding glass door is still here if we want to look at that live together. But again, I think I'm really excited for you guys to try out this Nano. Now, there is still this thick stack of panels that do collapse at 90 degrees. It collapses into a flat stack over here. Um, it's a bit of a bulk. It's not so much in the way. You've got a big enough patio that you'll be able to get past that. Um, but I do really like it. And it's great to have this one single panel here that you can swing open. And then, so the idea of putting a fireplace below the other does seem allowed. I didn't see anything in the installation diagrams for this fireplace that seemed to preclude being able to do something like this. And I'm showing the zero standoff option for this upper one, although the lower one, and again, this is really getting into the weeds here, but it does seem doable to stack the fireplaces. Maybe this upper fireplace will have to move up further if I've misconstrued how the venting has to happen. If the vent has to come out the top, then we'll need room to divert that over to the side and route up and around this other upper firebox. But I think I'm digressing a bit. I think it would be possible, and of course we can always pick slimmer or shallower options here. But again, I do think it's possible. And I don't think there are other changes to the main home. But I do like this space here. I really do like this double-sided fireplace, especially when we see it as part of this ADU entrance experience as well. When you are coming out of the ADU door and you're seeing this elevation, I think this is really, really inviting and a really fantastic space. So I'm very floored by this request, and I think it is doable. It might take some more fine tuning. But then the ADU itself is, I think, really, really nice. I've simplified it. I have opened the site plan up. This is now aligned with the rear property line, and it's 2.6 degrees off from truly being parallel here. And it's hard for me to tell in my 3D model here that it's not parallel. I think it might be possible to tell in reality that they're not parallel, but that's okay because this thing is parallel with the fence line, and I think it's going to be okay. And I'm also kind of happy. I thought about this as an ancillary benefit. When you have two parallel walls like this, and how far apart are these? These are 30 feet apart. You might get some bouncing echoes between these walls if they were perfectly parallel. But now that they're angled, that's less likely to be an issue. So that's kind of nice. But this ADU space feels great. We've got the bedroom over here with three windows along this wall and two along the back wall. It's a very brightly lit space. I could see you maybe wanting to save some money and not do so many windows, or maybe do some higher windows along this back wall rather than these um, full height windows. But if that's the case, I'll gladly show that for you. But I do think that you're far enough away from the property line, and we've got some nice trees. I think it would be nice to have some full height windows here on either side of the bed. And then we've got a high window in the closet, HVAC unit centered underneath that, and then a matching three windows here. So I really like this elevation, 313. Three windows here for the living room, and then corner windows here at the entry and the dining area. A couple windows for the kitchen, and just on this wall. I don't think that with the upper cabinets and the cooktop hood and the tall fridge that it makes sense to try to fit any windows on this back wall. But oh man, look at that view, right? This is really fantastic. And then I'm thinking, and I need to run this by Saratoga. I think it'll work because if we can have the main meter on the electrical meter on the main house feed the ADU, why can't we have the electrical meter on the ADU and then feed to the main house? I think that's the smart way to go. We'll put the one gas meter here at the front where the gas comes in, and then we'll have the one electrical meter here being fed by the utility pole here. And that should, I hope, lower some of your utility trenching costs. Not that that's too much to worry about, but anyways, it's also a good use of this blank wall space. Rather than trying to fit this meter, gosh, where would it have to go? Probably somewhere over here now. That's terrible. Let's put it on the ADO. And then along this back wall, we don't have much. We have a water heater closet door. We also have a bathroom window, high window for the bathroom. And then we have three windows here at the secondary bedroom or office space. And then this trim piece is not necessary. We could omit that trim piece and there would still be blocking along the top plate of the wall here to support any sort of future shade element that you wanted to add. So you don't need this trim piece here, but it is nice and it does break up the gable height wall here a little bit. The roof for the ADU is pretty simple. You know, in the spirit of simplifying everything for you guys and trying to match the simplicity of the roof we have here, I thought just two simple cross gables would be perfect. A main gable over the main home, which does allow for vaulted ceiling still in the living room. So we've got some nice features in here, plenty of height. But and then a cross gable here to cover the entry porch and the dining room pop-out space. I mean, it looks simple, looks cute, looks really, really nice. And the added benefit of having such a simple roof is that this south-facing roof slope is just so perfect for solar panels. I'm really, really happy about that. So here's our southern sun coming in. And it really wants to hit this roof slope here, which I do not want to put any solar panels on, please. But oh my goodness, look at this perfect, unshaded, south-facing roof slope that we can just jam-pack with as much solar panels as we want. But I'm showing here probably more than you could need, I would think. but we'll see. That's up to the solar panel manufacturers to calc the numbers with their actual panels that they're selling. Um, but by putting them all here, I think we can clean up this roof and not have to have those few panels on either side of the skylights. And I think that just makes this roof plane a little cleaner. Oh, and then I am showing one more skylight. Uh, Tucked over here, that is meant to bring light down into the center of the space. I'll probably widen out the opening in the ceiling when I get to that during the next phase of work. But for me, I think this space has enough natural light. We've got a window here. We've got access to all this light coming in from ancillary spaces. Maybe we don't want a skylight in this space. But if we do, I can make it work. And then we've got a skylight here on this cricketed area. And that does, or that will bring light down into this homework area next to the bathroom. Now, talking about the pergola here, the height of the pergola right now is not so low. I mean, it's over 8 feet tall. And when it comes to some open shade elements like this, the lower it is, the better it is to shade you. The more likely you will be to be shaded by the element and not have the sun undercut you or undercut the shade element. But it is rather low because I don't want to compete with this roofline here. I could, and I did look at alternatives where we raise this up by a couple of feet and have it supported by a couple more posts. And honestly, I felt like the added height wasn't really doing anything for me. The posts were really interfering with this window here looking out to the backyard. The post would just die right here to avoid these bifolding doors. And so in the end, I did think that going just with outer posts and ledgering the pergola or ledgering the pergola onto the back wall here underneath the overhang was the right way to go. Well, guys, I hope I've made it clear how much I love this new design. With the one caveat, I really want a door right here and onto your private porch. But other than that, like I said, I am really, really happy with this design. Um, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts on the ADU design, which is new for you today, as well as the thoughts on the pergola, the two-sided fireplace, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And let me know what you think about these garage windows. I'm all about natural light. I feel like in the past you, though, were quite okay with having a dark garage. I remember when this door was on the side and it was solid for, not getting hit by pickleball and all that. But back then we were okay not having any light in the garage. So now I feel like I've gone the exact opposite, and this is an enviously lit garage. So let me know what you think about that. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing back from you.